Chapter 1. Maps and Globes. Shape of the Earth. In ancient times, people believed that the Earth was flat and that it had steep edges. Later, it was proved that the Earth is actually round in shape. Pictures of the Earth taken from space also reveal that the Earth is round in shape. Due to its round shape, we cannot see the whole Earth at the same time. Even from space, only half of the Earth can be seen at a time. Maps. When you are going on a trip to a distant place, your parents look up maps for directions. Maps provide various kinds of information like directions, routes, relative distance, etc. People who make maps are called cartographers. One of the first famous cartographers was Gerhardus Mercator from Germany. A book of maps is called an atlas. Types of maps. Maps can be broadly classified into the following types. Types of maps and their features. Physical maps. Earth's natural features like mountains, forests, rivers, elevation, relief, etc. Political maps. Division of countries, states, political boundaries. Names of cities and capitals. Resource maps. Natural resources found in a region. Specific economic activities of different regions. Climate maps. Climatic conditions in areas. Distribution of rainfall. Topographical maps. Contour lines. Shape and elevation of an area. Transportation maps. Show roads, railway lines and air routes. Show airports, railway junctions. Special maps. Vegetation, drainage, coastlines, roads and bridges, urban areas, etc. How to read a map. The maps follow 5 Ds. These are: description. Every map has a name, number, scale, legends and symbols. Detail. The symbols are the language of the map. They explain the layout of the land. All its specific features are represented by various symbols. Direction. Direction is an important part of a map that helps us locate a place on it easily and quickly. We follow 4 major directions: north, south, east and west. See the given map. Maps follow a system to show directions. Place a map on a table. The farthest side or the top of the map is north. South is always opposite to north, that is, at the bottom. To your right is east and to your left is west. The directions on a map can also be shown by an arrow which is marked N. This shows the north direction. Once you know where the north lies, it is easy to find the other directions. We can also mark subdirections on a map. Between the north and the east lies the northeast, NE. Between the north and the west lies the northwest, NW. Between the south and the east lies the southeast, SE. Between the south and the west lies the southwest, SW. Distance. A map is quite small as compared to the actual land we show on it. Let us suppose that the ground distance between Delhi and Agra is 250 kilometers. It is not possible to show these cities at 250 kilometers from each other on the map. Therefore, this distance is represented by a smaller unit, say 5 centimeters, on the map. The ratio between the distance on the ground and the distance on the map is known as the scale of the map. On the basis of scale, maps are divided into two categories: 1. Small-scale maps, 2. Large-scale maps. Designation. For the ease of understanding, various features on maps are written in different styles for proper representation and saving space. For example, water bodies are always represented by blue color. Plains are represented by green color and highlands are marked in brown color. Signs and symbols. We use signs and symbols to show various land and water features like mountains, plains, rivers, seas, oceans, etc., and also to show man-made structures like bridges, dams, temples, railway tracks, etc. Different signs and symbols are used to give information on a map. For example, the national boundary is shown by thick dashes and dots in black. A state capital is marked by a small blank circle. International boundary. State boundary. Metalled road. Unmetalled road. Railway line, broad gauge meter gauge. Forest. Bridge. Stream. Well. National capital. State capital. Temple. Church. Mosque. Colors on a map. Different land and water features are represented by different colors on the map. Generally, maps follow a common scheme of colors. For example, on a physical map, water bodies are shown in blue. Light blue is used to show shallow waters and a darker shade of blue for deep waters. Plains and lowlands are shown in shades of green. Mountains and highlands are shown in shades of brown and yellow. The same color scheme is used for maps all over the world. To understand the color scheme, a key is made on the map. The key to a map, also known as legend, is a section that explains the symbols and colors used on the map. It helps to read and interpret map accurately. For example, a key shows the height of land or depth of water above or below sea level and the color used to show it on the map. Globes. A globe is a miniature model of the Earth. If you examine a globe, you will notice that it has an axle that allows it to spin around. In this way, a globe imitates the spinning of the Earth, which rotates around an imaginary axle. This imaginary axle is called the axis of the Earth. The axis meets the Earth's surface at 2 points, the North Pole and the South Pole. Exactly halfway between the two poles runs an imaginary line called the equator. This line divides the Earth into two equal parts called hemispheres. The region between the equator and the North Pole is called the Northern Hemisphere. The region between the equator and the South Pole is called the Southern Hemisphere. Latitudes. A set of imaginary lines drawn parallel to the equator are called lines of latitude or parallels of latitude. Thus, lines of latitude are imaginary lines drawn north or south of the equator. The equator is a line of latitude that passes through the center of the Earth. It is the longest line of latitude. The lines of latitude are measured as angles to the north or south of the equator. These are measured in degrees, degree. Lines of latitude to the north of the equator are given names from 1 degree N to 90 degree N. Thus, there are 90 lines of latitude drawn to the north of the equator. Similarly, lines of latitude are drawn to the south of the equator and given names from 1 degree S to 90 degree S. There are 90 lines of latitude drawn to the south of the equator. Thus, including the equator, 0, there are a total of 181 lines of latitude drawn. Look at the picture. The horizontal lines are the lines of latitude. Notice that as you go north or south of the equator, the circles or latitudes become smaller. The equator is the biggest circle. The latitudes 90 degree N and 90 degree S are special cases. They are no longer circular lines. They are points corresponding to the north and south poles. Some important lines of latitudes. Some important lines of latitude include the equator, 0 degree, the Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree N, the Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 S, the Arctic Circle, 66.5 degree N, and the Antarctic Circle, 66.5 degree S. Longitudes. Imaginary lines drawn from the North Pole to the South Pole are known as meridians of longitude or just longitude. There are 360 lines of longitudes. The central or the 0 degree longitude has been named the prime meridian. This divides the Earth into two equal halves, the Eastern Hemisphere and the Western Hemisphere. Lines of longitude to the west of the prime meridian are given names from 1 degree W to 180 degree W, 1 degree west to 180 degrees west. Lines of longitude to the east of the prime meridian are given names from 1 degree E to 180 degree E, 1 degree east to 180 degrees east. Actually, 180 degree W and 180 degree E refer to the same line of longitude, which is simply called at 180 degree without the letters E or W. At about the 180 degree longitude falls a line called the International Date Line. The distance between the two longitudes is the greatest at the equator. Locating places. The latitudes and longitudes intersect each other, forming a network of lines which is called a grid. The point of intersection helps us to locate any place. For example, let's consider the location of New Delhi, the capital city of India. The latitude and longitude coordinates for New Delhi are approximately 28.6139 degree N, latitude, and 77.2090 degree E, longitude. Using these coordinates, We can find New Delhi on a map by following the latitude line at 28.6139 degree N and the longitude line at 77.2090 degree E. The point where these two lines intersect is the location of New Delhi on the map. The index given at the end of an atlas gives the location of places in relation to their latitude and longitude. The international date line is not straight but zigzag dot. Longitude and time. Have you ever thought why there is a time difference from one country to another? When it is 1 p.m. in India, it is 3:30 p.m. in Beijing and 2:30 a.m. in New York. Let's know about it. When the sun shines directly overhead on a longitude, it is midday on all places on that longitude. As the Earth rotates from west to east, places on the east have midday before the places on the west. San Francisco and Mumbai observe times that are 12 hours apart. This happens because as the Earth rotates, the sun is first overhead in Mumbai. It takes another 12 hours for the Earth to rotate enough to allow the sun to be overhead in San Francisco. Along the 180 degrees longitude, there is the international date line where each calendar day starts and ends. At any hour of the day, a traveler stepping across the line from the east steps forward a day. Turning back, the traveler comes back to the previous day. Earlier inventions in exploration. Long ago, when the means were limited, people tried to find ways to determine the length and breadth of the earth and other details. Here are some of the instruments which were used. Astrolabe. This instrument was invented in the 2nd century BC by the Greeks. It was used to measure latitudes. It was in use till 1500s. Crossstaff. This instrument was used by navigators to find the latitude of a place. Sextant. This instrument was invented in 1731 by an Englishman named John Hadley. It helped calculate the distance between the horizon and celestial bodies like stars and planets. Magnetic compass. It has been among the most important inventions in the field of exploration science. The magnetic compass tells directions. It is still being used today.